Hey everybody, welcome to the SaaS Founders Show. This is a special edition. We're actually going to be focused on the Tech Throwdown. Tonight is the big pitch event. If you've been following the show, you know that we have Pitch Night, our Tech Throwdown event this evening in conjunction with Tech Week that's put on by the Greater Cleveland Partnership. So real excited. Today's show, we're going to actually be hearing from the founders from the companies that are finalists. So our finalists for the pitch event this evening. So before I introduce your finalists, you get to learn a bit about them, a bit of their story, about their businesses. I just wanted to share that the pitch night starts tonight at 5 o'clock. The URL that you see on the screen there is where you can go to register, to get the email, to be notified, to go check it out. We'll be live streaming on YouTube as well as a couple other places as well. And also, just wanted to let you know that we have a keynote speech that'll be featuring Lindsay Watson. She's the co-founder and CEO of Augment Therapy. It's a telehealth-enabled software that uses augmented reality experiences to engage children in physical and occupational therapy. Her passion to drive in the change in the pediatric healthcare industry is due in part to her 20 years working as a physical therapist specializing in pediatrics. And as a tech founder, she was named one of Cleveland's notable women of technology and Cleveland.com's homegrown hero in the category of augmented reality and artificial intelligence. And her company has won many awards, including GCP's Most Promising Startup in 2020. So really looking forward to hear from her. I think Lindsay's going to have some great things to share with everyone. So with that, we're going to now introduce our finalists. So just to kick us off, we're going to have Alex Michaels. He's the founder of Prelude to Cinema. And Alex, how are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. I should
awesome.
What I say later on. Just want to give you a warning.
Okay. That's a good way to set the stage, right? So, Alex, tell us about Prelude to Cinema. Congratulations, first of all, on being a finalist to all three of our companies that were named, and tell us a little bit about Prelude to Cinema.
Okay, I get into a person. I never really intended to start a movie company. I'm actually an Emmy-winning writer, and so I wanted to just make movies and send them out to Hollywood. I want to get into medicine and stuff. But I've always been fond of the old Hollywood studio system where you can make stars, make the movies, get them out there. And so I actually start shooting with film and start making movies. And there's a whole roundabout way I got into that. But the idea of Prelude to Cinema was to not just get my movies out there, but to get other filmmakers and get their movies and get their stories out there. And so a lot of years later, we've actually reached the point now where we can shoot movies on our phone and in 4K and distribute them all over the world. I've actually been able to get people working with us in Italy and London and everywhere. My work is kind of a crime sci-fi kind of thing, so it has more of a UK kind of BBC kind of feel to it. And it's just been a pleasure to actually discover all the filmmakers here and filmmakers from around the world that have this talent and that, we can get out there instead of using technology. And we have a new platform we're doing like Prelude to Cinema TV, which is a SaaS thing. And so, it's just an amazing, astounding time that we live in, and everything.
Yeah, for sure. Tell us a little bit about that SaaS product.
Okay. Prelude to Cinema TV began when I went to these meetings started by Bernie Moreno, Blockland Cleveland. And so the whole thing about the Bitcoin technology, which I can't explain because it would take 20 years to explain Bitcoin and blockchain and everything. But there was an idea about creating a platform kind of like a Netflix, but for independent filmmakers. And so we did a festival out of Shaker Launch House. And so we got a chance to see all these films, and we decided that we wanted to have a platform that would help independent filmmakers, but also give them business and marketing tools. Because as an artist, we really don't like the market and really like the business side of things, but we get kind of forced into it. And also the platform would have a funding aspect, so they can make so artists can make new movies and get them out there. And we also donate a portion to charity, especially the food banks. So we did pitch at Jumpstart, which is a great, great organization. And they gave us a big check, which is nice. So it's a little bit to get me started. And then we're still calling it Block C P2C at the time. And 2020 came and we were going to be part of the Cleveland Leadership Center Accelerate. And our pitch we call Starving Artists to Working Artists, because that's our mission and prayer this summer, to take artists and use technology and everything so they can get out there and so their day job can be their art. And then 2020 happened. Yeah. And well, you know the story. We went to our little protective little bubbles here and everything, but technology came to a forefront, especially with Zoom and other things. And people discovered how valuable art was and entertainment was, because when you're locked away from people, you still want to connect with people, but you still want to be entertained. So we partnered with a company in California called Nogient, and the founder is from Cleveland, but he led a team at Google, and he's going to come back here for a little while to work on the project with us. And he's creating the platform, let me get this right, MVC, mobile. I can get the tech stuff loses me a little bit, to be honest with you, but MVC, okay? And again, the technology has just been astounding that, he's using to create this platform for us, and still along the lines of helping filmmakers with the goals of reaching out to people, getting business and marketing and sponsorship there. But we changed the name because we want to reflect our company. So it's like really now Prayer to Summer TV, ours, you got P2C TV. And so it was a great pleasure to be selected for this, because of a lot of people don't think of movie companies as a technology company, but without technology, there'd be no way to shoot and to edit and to do these things. And SaaS is a great thing because a lot of the software we use, like we use Adobe Premiere and stuff, is SaaS. And a lot of the things like this thing called Breakthrough, I think by Insivia, those are great tools that people have at their disposal, where years ago I was doing business, you didn't have the tools that you have now. You weren't able to reach out to people that you have now and stuff and everything. And so, being a small business, you can still, create a larger, footprint and get out there to people.
Yeah, for sure. So your target audience, it is the filmmakers, is that correct?
Yeah, it's like with the artists, we're doing the Disney business model. We're not thinking of artists as becoming brands. Like I have my own little brand, Crime Sci-Fi, and we're gonna get like 1 million subscribers to our site by getting these filmmakers to put their fans on the site. Because you can put a film on like YouTube or something, you get views, but you get 1 million views, but you make like $100 or something, which is no money, nothing. And so that's our target. But our also target is businesses, because we did a television show, Out of Darkness Cleveland, and one sponsor, Lucy Sweet Surrender Bakery, and we had the Velvet Dog, and we wove these businesses into the shows. And this is like years ago, we started before, the streaming things and everything. But businesses need to get out there too. And I'll be honest, people do not like commercials. They do not like pop-ups. They're not going to watch. I don't care how great your commercial is. No one is going to watch it. Back in my day, we called commercials bathroom breaks, and there truly are. But if you have a business, though, you want to weave your business into a show. So even though the filmmakers are the people who provide the content and have the fans and stuff, we also do have a place for businesses to get out there and to weave themselves into these stories so that people can see, the great products and the great things and everything. And we want to help like the restaurants too, because the restaurants were just devastated by, everybody's devastated by, 2020 and COVID and everything. But, things where people had to show up live, those were just devastated and hurt, So we want to make sure that we're doing our part to help people out.
That's great. So what stage is the business at this point, Alex?
Well, Predator Summer is oh, we're moving ahead and we're doing a lot of different things. We're reaching out to some private funding. We reach out to more sponsorships, and we actually have an event coming up October 23rd. We're going to be at something called Great Lakes Geek Fest, and we have the Print Summer TV, which we're looking to get some more big checks so we can get that launched. And there's a site for it right now, but the developer hasn't finished it, so I can't show anything for it. But we want to get the beta done by maybe the end of next month. But all the things are there, and we're getting more content for it. And we're just steadily being out there with, great opportunities like this to reach out to the community and to show our value to, Cleveland and the word out there and such. So we're always making things and doing things. And there's interesting about, like, real quick, the public domain. A lot of books and movies have come into the public domain. There's my favorite book is The Great Gatsby. Has actually come into the public domain, so we can actually make a movie off of that. So it's this incredible time that we live in, and that we're trying to take full advantage and do what we can to help people out and create jobs and do things here.
That's great. So last couple of things that I'd like to hear about is the team behind you. Who else is working on this with you?
Like I said, we have Noji, which is our software architect, and my brother from another mother, Francesco Di Giantonio. He's a great guy. I actually met him at Shaker Launch House, and he's handling the business and the finance. He was a chief financial officer for some big companies and such here and stuff. And Francesco is just like, we just had breakfast this morning. He's like a great joy to work with, because like I know the art thing, but he knows that whole business thing and everything too. And I have a new intern, actually assistant we came aboard with, Gigi. She's working with us. And we have a lot of filmmakers that we're working with, that we're doing things with. Actually, we have some team members who got to create some website. Some more people. Christian Fernando, he's over in Italy, and he's like providing music for us. And there's another guy, Vitaly Versace. He's here. He's Russian, great guy, and he's shooting Out of Darkness Cleveland for us. And if I start naming all the people that's involved in the company, it's like the Oscars, and I like to thank this and this and this, but we're family, so we have a lot of like family members helping us out with things too. But it's always a team of people, with us and such.
So what's next for the business? If you are to raise some funds, if you win the competition tonight, what are some of the goals of what you want to do here in the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, if we win, and hopefully win, we do our little happy dance because we'll be happy. But we're really hitting the ground running, because we're already up and running with things. Like I said, the site needs some more development. We need content from other filmmakers. We have the Great Lakes Geek Fest, which is coming up, which gives us a chance to. It's going to be a live event this year. Last year, 2019, we were there. 2020, we weren't there. But we're going back with live events. And which is a great thing, but safely, of course. And we're also looking to help a lot of the businesses here by business sponsorship and everything, putting them out there and such. And even though we're in Cleveland, we still want to get out there to the rest of the world. So we're really, we haven't stopped doing things. You know what I'm saying? We get kind of slowed down, but we always are working on stuff, and we're always editing stuff. I just put out some new things because it's Hispanic Heritage Month. Excuse me. And one of my in Out of Darkness Cleveland, the lead character Latina. So we're putting out that show, and I know that WOIO has they're doing Telemundo, which is great. So we're trying to like get onto that platform too. So we have like all these balls in the air, because even with like the slowdown last year of things, we were still doing things. We were more virtual, but as we say, the show must go on. So we really want to thank Insivia for like giving us like opportunity to be part of the tech partnership, Great Cleveland Partnership Tech Weekend, to just get out there to people and let people know who we are and that we want to help out the city of Cleveland. We want to help do things.
It's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Alex. Good luck to you tonight. I appreciate you taking the time here today. Both here on the show this morning and then this evening. And great talking.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I very much appreciate it. And congratulations to the other two finalists too.
Awesome. All right. So that was Alex Michaels once again, founder of Prelude to Cinema. And so you'll be hearing him this evening. Again, we'll start at 5 o'clock. Now I want to move on to Darren and Sebastian, the co-founders of OCO. Bring these guys on. Hey, guys.
Hi, Tony. How you doing? Thanks for having us.
Real good. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate you guys. First of all, congratulations on being a finalist, and would love to hear the story behind OCO. What are you guys all about?
Yeah. Sure. Thank you. So OCO is a marketplace for specialty chemicals. We're connecting manufacturers, buyers, and sellers in a marketplace to help them get around three main problems of procuring product, finding product at a great price, and then following up on the documentation, which is really mostly paper, right? So we call it our 3 Ps: products, price, and paper. So really we're focused on helping middle market manufacturers, the buyers within these teams, locate the goods more easily, procure them, and then have to follow up less often through phone, fax, and email to get the documentation that they need in order to plan their production cycles and continue business continuity in an effective fashion. Yeah.
So where did the idea for this come from? What's the origin story with the two of you sitting around, and what's the relationship there? Did you guys know each other, prior to this, or did you meet as you were diving into this project, this business?
Yeah, so Darren and I have been friends since we were 13 years old. We actually met playing football at a Pop Warner football league here in Queens, New York. So we've been friends ever since. Best mans at each other's wedding, went to the same high school, co-captains football team, played 3 sports together for 4 years. So we have an extensive relationship. The idea really came together at this past, I would say early April this year. In late 2013, I actually started working in the trading textiles from North America to South America, and I was working for a small firm here in New York, where I, was doing a lot of international transactions, but I found the 3 Ps to be the main issues when going about transacting a business. It was always price availability, product availability, and then once we got over those 2 hurdles, then the document trail was also another bottleneck. So I made up this, I would say, platform on PowerPoint, and I sent it to Darren, and I said, one day we should develop this. My career kind of led through from textiles to chemicals, working for a big 500, Fortune 500 trading firm, also here in New York, where I handled the Central and South American markets. And then this year, we kind of came back together, Darren and I, and said, I think it's time to maybe try to execute this. So that's where the idea of OCO kind of came together. So
yeah, and a little background on myself. Like Sebastian said, I'm from New York City originally. I'm living in Cleveland now, downtown Cleveland, and have a background working in financial services, mainly on Wall Street for 10 years. I had my first startup back in 2018. It was a financial services company, or fintech company, really, helping millennials budget better by using machine learning and artificial intelligence to help them get around the challenges of budgeting by the app creating pre-populated spending goals. So that wound down around 2020 when COVID happened. During that time, I was studying at the University of Rochester, so not too far away, getting my MBA. And that really was like a great experience for me because it helped me understand how to really develop a company, what was necessary to go to market, connect with your customers, and continue to grow and scale. And then, I think earlier this year, as Sebastian said, was thinking about kind of another opportunity in some of the areas that, customers could be finding pain points. And, we've had a relationship of, 15, 17 years plus. And, just combining our experiences, his in the chemical space, mine obviously in financial services, and then also being a previous founder. And I think, just combining those two was just a really great fit for us to come together and really put this together now.
It's awesome. How has that relationship, changed, as co-founders working together?
That's a good question.
That is a very good question.
I don't think it's changed as much. I think we definitely have to communicate it much more and much more often. And I think we have to be really clear and intentional about what we want to get done, how we want to do it, how we divide work. And I think really just being a little bit more flexible and just coming together and really allowing ourselves to demonstrate kind of our areas of domain expertise, really. And let us kind of just, when there's one area that, I may not know much about, obviously, which is going to be in the chemical space, I have to rely on Sebastian a lot more for him to really provide that expertise and really kind of show what he knows. And obviously I would hope that it's vice versa. Let's wait for Sebastian to give his answer. But, I think that's generally, at least from my perspective, how I feel about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. So as Darren said, I think we complement each other very well. I'm more on the transactional side, just, getting product out the door, getting product to a customer, navigating the issues with the customers, paperwork, et cetera. But there's a lot of things that I rely on Darren, on a day-to-day basis, just how to get, how to put the company forward, how to get into these type of pitch competitions, how to get our name out there. He's done an amazing job at getting OCO out into the eyes of just many potential investors and even customers as well. So, but I think the relationship really, it has changed, but it really hasn't changed. Just to use a very short example, since we were co-captains of the football team during high school, I primarily played offense, he primarily played defense, and we always held each other accountable. So I think, just to win the game or to work on OCO, we still keep each other accountable. We set deadlines, we set specific sprints to get something done. And, I trust him that whatever he's working on, it's going to get done. And I think vice versa, he trusts me on that end. And yeah, it's been good. Everything has been able to get done on time. So all that stuff that we did in the past growing up, it's kind of, it's reflecting itself now. So.
Very cool. Yeah, that's interesting that you guys have that history. And like you said, one played defense, one played offense. You guys held each other accountable, stayed in your lane, right? So that's very cool. How about other team members? What does the team look like? Is it just you guys, or do you guys have more other people that are involved?
Yeah, right now primarily it's Sebastian and I. So on the development side, we have kind of two fronts. So our product, we're developing it on a no-code platform right now called Caspio. So right now, Sebastian and I are really kind of leading that effort. But we've worked with a development firm down, an outsourced development firm that we've had a relationship with that, kind of supports us through other technical aspects as well. And I think, as we kind of get more funds into the company and as we continue to grow and onboard more customers, we hope to kind of use the funds to obviously grow our team and obviously onboard more people. But, I think right now it's just primarily me and Sebastian with an outsourced team.
Mm-hmm.
So what stage is the business at right now?
Mm-hmm. So we're getting ready to launch. As I said, we're finishing up development on our no-code platform, and I think we're using that kind of as our beta with a few small customers or close ring of customers that we've had extensive relationships with. And then from there, we'll kind of use that as an initial pilot to understand and really flesh out what the true pain points of our customer. We have, at least product or product fit, and we understand kind of what the problem is that we want to solve, but we want to continue to develop a platform that really is scalable and that can also meet the needs of other customers as well. So we're using that platform to really continue to flesh that out and validate a lot of the questions that we have within our mind, and then move to kind of a more strategic solution in the future. So we're onboarding customers. Our website will be launched later today. We kind of kept that a little in stealth mode, I guess is kind of the term. So we just kind of to keep it under the radar. So that'll be up later today, and then we'll be onboarding customers within the next month or so.
Very cool. Very exciting. So last thing I want to ask is, should you guys win tonight, what are you going to do with those funds and services that are available to you?
Yeah, definitely. So like I said, I think one of our one of our biggest goals right now is to continue to grow and onboard the customers. Any use of funds that we get, we'll use to develop our platform, allow us to meet some of our strategic goals, which is onboarding 15 customers within the next few months. One of the things we want to do is generate monthly recurring revenue of $100,000 or more each month. So that will allow us to build those milestones, build the steps, onboard, market to the customers that we need to. And I think especially being in Northeast Ohio, where there's a lot of manufacturers of both chemicals and finished products, I think that gives us the opportunity to continue to outreach to customers within the region and continue to leverage, I think, the strength of where we are right now.
That's great. So tonight, will you guys be pitching together?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I certainly look forward to it. Thank you guys again. Good luck tonight, and looking forward to hearing the pitch this evening. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
Darren and Sebastian Pedraza from OCO.
Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you guys tonight.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, and that leaves us with our last of the three finalists. We have Nathan Mcintyre from Geometis. So Nathan, hey Nathan, how you doing?
Good. You can hear me?
I can.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Welcome. Absolutely, and congratulations on being a finalist. We're excited to hear you as well pitch this evening. So tell us a little bit about Geometis.
Yeah, it's got a long background. My whole career was spent primarily helping energy companies find locations for them to develop projects. So this is really sourcing land, because all these energy projects, whether it's an oil and gas location, a pipeline that needs to go in, or a solar farm, you need land. And when you need to go find that land, and really you end up ranking that land like very viable, really great core of the core type, locations, down to some that are not so good, but if something else falls through, then maybe we'll go with that location. So as a consultant for the last 12 years, I built a service company nationwide from California to Pittsburgh that was doing this for various energy companies. And we ended up exiting that company in 2017, 2018. And it was a professional services firm, but we were tech enabled. We had a lot of technology we were building. Fast forward, post that exit, and I started going down these tech startup routes. And one that kept coming back to me from a consulting standpoint was companies having me help them find land for solar, because this is now a very big topic. And there's a big difference between solar and, let's say, oil and gas. Solar takes an incredible amount of land, which means you need different tools, you need different approaches, versus a little tiny area for an oil and gas location. You need 20, 30 times that for a solar farm, which brings, again, a lot of different challenges. So as I was doing this as a consultant, helping some different companies get their feet in the door. That was the light bulb of, my whole career was spent helping all these companies. And although we had dabbled in tech throughout, like, this is the moment now. Like, we're staring at a crazy, intersection in the United States for energy generation, which is we're trying to, as hard as we can, push towards renewable energy. But there's a problem that everybody's overlooking, which is the crunch for land and curating enough land in the right locations to fulfill those goals. And because that's where my background and my experience has been in, we decided I partnered. I have 3 business partners in this deal. And so I partnered with a team to basically build this business and this technology out. And we started that late last year, early this year. And it's been a wild ride. So really we are holistically looking at land, taking into account a lot of different data sets. We're even creating our own proprietary data sets to then be able to say, this piece of land is good, but it's not as good as this one. Or this piece of land looks good, but only a portion of it could actually be used because the other portion of that land is not going to work. And that is Geometis. Our vision of a business, though, is much bigger. We do not want to be just in energy, because this is not really an energy project to any real estate developers out there. This is a real estate project. We are trying to find land, develop land, try to understand, would this land make more money for an investor to put solar on it, or to put maybe battery storage on it, maybe windmills, et cetera. And then as that continues on, this becomes more of a real estate type project. But our foot in the door or our beachhead is going to be solar.
So it sounds like in your consulting, you just saw this opportunity emerge. It just was a pattern of, need. When did you decide to make the leap from, the idea and thinking, oh, I might be onto something, to actually take that leap and build a business?
It was when I met who are my partners now. So because, one person in a room with a great idea, it's a huge battle. It's a huge uphill battle. And once I had met up with my partners, who were all business partners together, the other three had a software consultancy, building a lot of machine learning tools and just some general software products. So they had been together and they had a whole team. So they have a whole team of developers. So a well-established kind of, group. And so me being able to come to them and say, I'm not looking to hire your company. I'm looking for business partners that want to come help execute this vision. You guys bring a lot of the technical expertise and how to build a product and manage the technology stack and manage operations that side. And I'm domain expert. I know the business space. I can network. I can get, the customer side. And I can really, because I've done this, I can tell you all of the problems we've had my whole career, the pain points, all of the freaking feedback from our customers and, what everybody was looking for, and bring that into the room. And I've always worked with tech people too. So I know how to talk to developers, and I know how to keep those conversations alive. And I know how to flush out bad ideas and test product and give them feedback, et cetera. So I'm in the middle there somewhere, but they are tech folks to their core. So it's been that's what motivated me, right? Is plugging that hole meant I didn't need to go raise early capital to go hire developers, or even front that myself. I could go partner with them, and really what they were bringing was that team, the resource, the developers, et cetera. Therefore, we built a lot of code really quick over the course of this year.
So aside from the partners, is there anybody else on the team that's working on this?
Yeah, the three partners, and then we have a team of developers behind them. A lot of which are working also with the consultancy side. So it's one of the advantages we have today is from an operational perspective. I don't know what you want to call it. We're a cheap company to run at the moment. It won't always be that way, but it is today. And that advantage is to us currently because we're able to get our MVP really solidified, really further along, if you will, than most companies who are just barely pulling it together with limited resource. So at one point at our highest, we had 14 developers working on it at once. But we've scaled that back since, as we are now approaching a really pivotal moment in the company where we are going down the path of, we have spent the last weeks just literally talking and interviewing customers, and we are pre-revenue, but that's kind of on purpose. We do have companies or people who have kind of offered, to be a customer. But at this point, our biggest goal is to find the best product market fit possible that allows us to spend the next 12 months efficient, going in the right direction. Because I've had these mistakes also in my past, where you kind of go in a bunch of different directions at once. So we've used this last, month to really experiment and ask questions to customers who know who we are now. They know the product that we're coming to market with. They know what we're doing. But we've gone, instead of just to energy developers, let's talk to some real estate folks. Let's talk to governments. Let's talk to nonprofits. There's a lot of energy nonprofit organizations, and really understand what is everybody's challenges, because I don't care what piece you're in, every project has to be originated, and every project is going to need land to be originated. And the 30-year vision for renewables is it seems unachievable. It's so big. So we know that the solution is going to be needed no matter what. It's a matter of where do we create the most impact first.
That's awesome. So what is in the plans for the next 6 to 12 months here for you guys?
So definitely to generate cash flow. So we want to onboard customers. That's without a doubt. We have a huge CRM pipeline of companies in our networks and that we've curated. We also have some unique network that is giving us a lot of good boots on the ground. Like what developers are in the biggest crunch, if you will. So meaning these companies need locations very badly. So the next 12 months, we'll see that. We'll see us expand our data sets across a bigger region because we haven't curated data for the whole US yet, purposefully, because again, we don't really want to do, that would be getting ahead of ourselves, I feel. So we want to really focus on growing the data set so we can onboard more customers. And then I would like to get personally deeper down some of these paths into governments. I have a big, I mean, it's a long sales cycle and it's painful and all that, but at the end of the day, governments control a lot of, through zoning regulations, et cetera, they control where it makes most sense for developers to go build projects. And without the correct tools and technology, like they're really not potentially making uninformed decisions. Whereas with the right tools, we could get these parties aligned. We could get government interest, public interest aligned with private sector interest. So I'd like to explore that more also. And then there's a roadmap of technology, including some really edge case computer vision, artificial intelligence applications here, more around detecting the land itself. So when you and I look at Google Earth and we look at an image and we say, oh, what's that right there? That's probably not good for a solar array. It's building a lot more technology around how we look at land using computers to help us make decisions on a very large amount of land at once, so that you can scale into years to come, so you can scale into countries and other areas in the world that don't have as good data. The US has good data. So
awesome. Well, I am really looking forward to hearing your pitch this evening. Thanks for your time, Nathan Mcintyre with Geometis.
Thanks, everybody.
That is it for our finalists. We're super excited for tonight. So we hope everybody that is tuned in is able to go ahead and sign up. Join us this evening, 5 o'clock Eastern. You'll be hearing from the finalists give their pitches, as well as our keynote speaker. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back with another founder next week. And until then, take care, everybody.